There will now be an opportunity for silent prayer or meditation. May we be seated. Thank you. Are there any member statements? Honorable Mahlang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The ANC would like to congratulate the Pumas, which is our rugby team based here in Mpumalanga, for reaching the Cura Cup final. The boys will be playing in the final tomorrow in Van Hook Drought Park, Kimberley in the Northern Cape. As the ANC, we want to urge the people of Mpumalanga to rally behind the boys that they must bring it home. Honorable Speaker, also the Department of Culture, Sport and Recreation will today officially launch Netball Fridays, which is dubbed as Road Netball World Cup 2023. This event will be live on the department's Facebook page. As the ANC, we want to pledge our support to Pumas and want to urge the people of Mpumalanga to rally behind the boys. As we say, bring it home, boys. Ngiyathokoza. Yeah.
Honorable Shongwe.
Hey, kuyajabula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and greetings to the House, to the members of the Executive and members of the Legislature, as well as the Legislature. As a department, we were really moved by the statement from the ruling party about the two events that are going to take place. And I know that we are not alone. I think even the opposition is behind the Pumas and also behind the Netball World Cup 23. So we really appreciate. What we can say is that let's support them. And as MEC, after the sitting, I'll be driving to the Northern Cape to support the Pumas. I know that Honorable Grobler wanted to come, but because of the work that is before him here in the legislature, he's not able, but he's number one supporter of He's number one supporter of the Pumas, so we are grateful. And also we want to ask the people of Mpumalanga to support the Netball Fridays as a preparation for the World Cup in 2023. I know there's number one supporter again, former MEC for sports, culture, sports and recreation, Honorable. Yes, she's even wearing the T-shirt of Netball Friday. We're trying, honorable members, to get a T-shirt for every member, so that every Friday, even if there's a sitting, honorable Speaker, we want to request that we are permitted at this House to be casual and wear the T-shirt on Fridays. Thank you very much, honorable Speaker.
Now, I hope I have a nagal. There's 3 different colors now.
Are there any member statements? Honorable Visi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the ANC, would like to commend the Department of Economic Development under the leadership of the MEC PV Mkhaja for successfully hosting an informal sector endeavor and SME outreach and exhibition that was held in Kangala District Municipality on the 7th June 2022. Honorable Speaker, the economic endeavor was attended by various stakeholders from the informal sector, private sector, and the leadership from Kangala District Municipality, led by the Executive Mayor, Councillor Leah Mabuza. Honorable Speaker, the economic endeavor took place when the country is still trying to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, and it is estimated that almost 1.6 billion workers in the informal sector have significantly impacted by this pandemic, leading to an estimated decline in their earnings of 60%. Honorable Speaker, the COVID-19 pandemic has incurred a severe disruption in the informal sector, causing significant job loss and sharpened decline in economic growth. Throughout the pandemic, informal sector had adapted quickly and continuously to manage government-imposed COVID-19 restrictions, supply chain issues, cash flow constraints, and staff reduction, and employee health and safety, among others. It is against this background that we applaud the department for assisting the informal sector. I thank you.
Honorable Mkacho.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to the Deputy Speaker, the Chief Whip, Deputy Chief Whip, and all honorable members. Load shedding is still with us, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me hasten to appreciate the member statement from the governing party, the African National Congress, as tacitly articulated by Honorable Lubisi. And Honorable Speaker, it is very much important for us as a Department of Economic Development and Tourism that we really request the House to support this kind of programs. And it is in that view that we want to take this work forward in terms of convening the district in Dabas so that we are closer to the sector. And we have, in that engagement, been able to come up with strategies which will help government to assist the informal sector in pushing back the impact of COVID-19. And in this regard, we are engaged in engagements with the different local municipalities, because one of the fundamental issues are the trading bylaws, which seems to then also frustrate the operations of the sector. And as a provincial government as well, we are in a process to develop a provincial policy which to a larger extent should be able to really address the informality or in that sector itself. So we appreciate that this kind of work is being appreciated in the House, and we hope and believe that moving forward, the House will be able to join hands in support to this initiative. As we know, the informal sector is one of the sectors that contributes tremendously in our economic recovery priorities. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Nyabe.
Greetings to the Honorable Speaker, the leader of the official opposition party, Honorable Colin Sidibe in absentia, members of the August House, as well as our guests. Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the economic freedom fighters to raise a member statement that it cannot be business as usual, while the municipal manager of Dr. Pixiga Isakasema local municipality is enjoying his bed and relaxing at home
while earning his monthly salary, and there's no internal disciplinary action taken against him or external discipline, only suspended for over a year now and waiting for his contract to expire. That is pure fraud. It cannot be business as usual that the current CFO, who happens to be the acting MM, as well as a PEC member of ANC, is not attending his duties, only goes to the municipality when there is council meeting, but collects the salary every month. Honorable Speaker, it cannot be business as usual when the former mayor of Dr. Pixley Isakasema enjoyed his promotion at the district council, while his case for defrauding the municipality 22 million is dragging, case 64 of June 2020, and keeps on being postponed. If I had to ask a question, it would be, why is the ANC using its powers to shield wrongdoers and failing to hold accountable their members? Is this the government of the people? Really not by the people. I thank you.
Honorable Shongwe.
Honorable Speaker, ngibonga statement esiphakamiswa ngumhlonishwa uNyembe. Statement lesi esifaka ama allegations nama aspersions about the municipal manager, the executive mayor, and number of officials, and also level a sort of a blame to the leading party. Then that says, out of the combination of all the allegations, it means the Department of Cogta, who is the coordinator of all the municipalities in the province, together with Treasury, they will have then to go to Pixley Seme and investigate and check all those allegations, whether they are founded. We are going to inform the department through the MEC of Cogta, as well as the MEC who's responsible for Treasury. Thank you very much.
Honorable Setole.
Came on, yeah, me.
Oh, is it on? Yeah, it's working. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to deliver a member statement on behalf of the Democratic Alliance. Honorable Speaker, the Department of Health has a mandate to protect, promote, and maintain the health, safety, and well-being of patients and the public by ensuring quality pharmaceutical service to all citizens. Honorable Speaker, I've been to 3 hospitals in the past week for oversight. Rob Ferreira, Kwamhlanga, and Witbank Hospital. Honorable Speaker, these hospitals are barely functioning due to long overdue maintenance ranging from dysfunctional boilers, leaking roofs, leaking geysers, broken laundry machines, and the list is endless. Honorable Speaker, Mpumalanga has 2 tertiary hospitals, being Rob Ferreira and Witbank Hospital. However, due to us not being able to provide decent accommodation, Mpumalanga is losing specialists who are needed in our province. We are still sending patients to Steve Biko Hospital for heart surgeries. Honorable Speaker, it is sad to say that currently Rob Ferreira is a glorified regional hospital because it is not operating as a tertiary hospital. Communities are continuously calling for the removal of CEOs at Rob Ferreira, Kwamhlanga, and Witbank Hospital. What they don't know is that it is not the CEOs who are failing the communities. It is the MEC and the officials in her department who are failing to deliver on the basics to ensure our hospitals have things such as medication and linen. The officials don't have to face patients and their families. It is healthcare workers who must face the wrath of angry family members. Honorable MEC, the status quo cannot remain. If your turnaround strategy is not turning things around, the DA is going to call for your department to be put under curatorship because you have failed. Thank you.
Honorable Manzini.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. What Honorable is saying, Honorable Sithole, is not correct that Rob Ferrer is not functioning as a tertiary hospital. For the first time in the province, the patients of Mpumalanga are now congratulating the government, the ANC-led government of the province, because they no longer travel to Gauteng for other services. It's because as this province, we are trying by all means to make sure that services that are supposed to be rendered at tertiary hospital are introduced, and the benefit to our people who are seeing it. Also at Emalahleni, there are challenges of infrastructure, we agree. Hence, we are always saying that the imbalance that we are getting in terms of budget allocation as a national government is something that we are discussing, that we hope that the Democratic Alliance will support the ANC in terms of making sure that we implement NHI so that we'll be able to have enough budget to maintain our facilities, to make sure that the issue of shortage of staff in the whole country is implemented so that our people can get equal services at all times. So, but in terms of all the challenge that is raising, we are working on it with the Department of Public Works to make sure that we are renovating, we are also Emalahleni that we are talking about, the Honorable Premier has already pronounced to building a new Linamalashi tertiary hospital, because that's what we want to do to make sure that we improve our healthcare facilities and also improve the services that we're providing as a province. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, can you please be orderly? Honorable members, the executive is accounting in the legislature. Can you please allow the executive members to respond to your statements? You have raised your statements, and please allow the executive to respond to your statements. If you are not happy about the responses, you know you must do follow-ups through the office of the Speaker. Honorable Weber.
Yes, okay. Madam Speaker, may I use this opportunity once again to greet my friends and to greet my foes. Madam Speaker, I rise to deliver a member statement on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus, a member statement that will be applauded by even the ANC. Madam Speaker, how is it possible that year after year, the province of Mpumalanga appropriates money from the following financial year to make up for the budget shortfall of the current financial year? Every year, a large portion of the current budget is used to pay the province's own debt from the previous year, which again results in large percentages of targets in the current year that were once again not reached. The ripple effect of such severe mismanagement will cause that the province is forever playing catch-up. Will there ever be a year where the current budget pays for the current year? Borrowing money from the future with no plan to reconcile it is yet another symptom of an inability to manage finances. Departments will never reach all their targets and use the entirety of their budgets if their financial planning doesn't drastically improve. Perhaps if the ruling party curbed the hundreds of millions of rands in unauthorized, irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure, it wouldn't have to borrow money from the following year. The Freedom Front Plus has no confidence in the ruling party's ability to govern a province if it is unable to govern its finances. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Mkhatshwa.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Well, it is unfortunate that we'll have such a statement, especially after we have done our policy and budget speeches. In them, we have articulated the plans and strategies that we have put in place to address the issue of UIFW. And in this regard, we have even been unequivocal in condemning the non-expenditure of monies and the return of such monies to the coffers. And we have also agreed, Honorable Speaker, that moving forward, we will not want to deal with the recurrence of your UIF&W, but rather deal with the historical issues which departments are currently undergoing processes of dealing with them so that they clean those UIFWs from the past financial years. And we have considered some of those. A report in terms of the fourth quarter report articulates that as well. And I think, Honorable Speaker, where we are now, we are geared towards making sure, which is a point that we have also articulated, that all monies that are budgeted for should be utilized for what they are planned for. And this is a view that has reached a consensus at the level of ESCO, and all departments have committed into doing exactly that. We know the current challenges which might affect especially our expenditure in the first quarter, given the national treasury issues, which we are well aware of. But we are on top of those issues as well, and we are proceeding in implementing our plans and making sure that prudently we are able to spend the budgets that are allocated. Thank you very much.
Executive statements. I am informed that there are no executive statements. Motions without notice. Are there any motions without notice? Honorable Manzini.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move a motion without notice on behalf of the ANC to appreciate the MEC of Economic Development and Tourism in responding to the outcries of the communities in Elukwatini, adjacent in Songimvelo Game Reserve. The communities complain that the dilapidated fence of the reserve allow elephants to pass through and destroy their crops, kill their animals, and endanger their lives. Noting that in response to the outcry of the community, the MEC announced during a stakeholder engagement road show that an establishment budget of 15 million has been allocated for the erection of new fence, and it will start soon. Further noting that the MEC committed that the MTPA will advertise the tender to replace the new fence, and they will make sure that the company employ people of Elukwatini. During the roadshow, the MEC also provided food parcels with essential items to 50 less privileged households. The ANC move that this House appreciate the MEC for promptly responding to the outcry of the communities as indicated above. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to? So agreed. The motion is defeated. Honorable Shabalala.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the African National Congress, I would like to rise and move a motion without notice for this House to wishes the former Republic of South Africa and ANC President Thabo Mbeki on his 80th birthday. The former president turned 80 on a Saturday, 18 June 2022, and was honored at a dinner celebration in Sandton. Noting that Mbeki served as the second president of the Democratic South Africa from 1999 to September 2008. From a very tender age, Comrade Thabo made the African National Congress blood his home and his home. The ANC would like to recognize him as well as his vendor when he was the president. He was part of the team that initiated negotiations with the apartheid government. Further noting that we thank and salute him for his selfless and sacrifices he made, and many other comrades that also contributed for the liberation of the South African freedom. We value his continued commitment and contribution towards a total emancipation of the people of Africa. Honorable Speaker, I move that this House wishes Comrade Thabo long life, strength, and good health, and to continue serving our people with wisdom, diligence, dedication, and commitment. Honorable Speaker, I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to. Motion is defeated. Is there any motion without notice? Honorable Morgan.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to the House at large. Honorable Speaker, I rise to deliver a motion without notice on behalf of the Democratic Alliance. Noting that the 2020-2021 audit of local municipalities revealed an impending doom for a vast number of municipalities in the province. This is as the Auditor General reaffirmed the notion that a lot of our municipalities are in financial distress. Municipalities like Emalahleni, the city of Mbombela, Lekwam, Sugalikwa, Dipaliseng, Tabachew, and Govan-Pegi are in a financial spiral. And we find it extremely concerning that these municipalities' current liabilities far exceed whatever assets these municipalities have. Further noting that we cannot keep having situations in which a 60% of the debt balance in our province is deemed irrecoverable, and as a result, the majority of our municipalities function solely on grants. This is the sole reason why sewage overspillage onto roads and rivers in many municipalities, why a lot of our residents do not have a basic water supply till today, and this is why potholes and eroded roads torment the residents of this province. Given the above, I call on this House to deal with the above-mentioned financial crisis and to focus on revenue generations while reducing our reliance on grants. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to. The motion is defeated. Honorable Weber.
Madam Speaker, I rise to move an unopposed motion without notice. The Freedom Front Plus moves to congratulate the Premier and Speaker of Mpumalanga Legislature in their commitment to outline and implement specific actions through the Integrated Municipal Support Plan as noted by the Auditor General. The Freedom Front Plus hopes to see a strengthening of the internal control environment and improvement of financial health, planning and monitoring of infrastructure projects and compliance with legislation. Overall, audit outcomes regressed over the past term of the previous administration due to a lack of institutionalized preventative controls. Municipal managers and senior management did not fulfill their responsibility to develop and effectively implement the basic controls that form the foundation of a sound control environment. To improve audit outcomes and the quality of service delivery, all role players in the local government accountability system, including coordinating ministries, must perform their roles effectively. I so move, Madam Speaker.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to. The motion is defeated. Is there any motion without notice? Notices of motion. Are there notices of motion? Honorable Weber.
Madam Speaker, I once again rise to put a notice of a motion to this Honourable House. At August 2017, the bids closed for the establishment of a forestry industrial technology park within the Tabachweo local municipality, specifically Sabi. 5 years later, there are still delays in completing the project initiation phase, particularly on the statutory compliance requirements. A number of objections against the proposed development arose regarding environmental impact of the planned park. I move on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus that the Department of Economic Development and Tourism speed up the process of commissioning detailed reports on the impact of noise, the stormwater management plan, the environmental impact, and the wastewater treatment works as to finalize if this project is even still worthwhile pursuing. The time has come for us to stop throwing away our hard-earned money on useless projects that benefit a few at the huge expense of the rest of us and our descendants of 4 decades. I so move, Madam Speaker.
The motion is noted and will be dealt with accordingly. Are there notices of motions? Formal motions? There is a formal motion standing in the name of the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Honorable F.V. Mlombo. I now call upon the Chief Whip to formally table the motion.
Honourable Speaker, thank you very much. I rise in terms of Rule 84 to deliver a formal motion. I, Fana Vincent Mlombo, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, table a notice of motion in terms of Rule 84, Sub-Rule 1B, that at the sitting of Friday, the 24th of June 2022, I shall move that the House note that the committee's report on the Mpumalanga Appropriation Bill, Bill 2 of 2022, shall be tabled during the sitting by the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism for consideration by this August House. Further note that Rule 192, Sub-Rule 2 of the Rules and Orders of the Legislature provides that, I quote, the Speaker shall allow for the committee's report in the debate to be debated in the legislature by some members from the relevant portfolio committee in accordance with the Speaker's list. Honourable Speaker, I therefore move that the House adopts a resolution in terms of Rule 4, Sub-Rule 1, to suspend the provision of Rule 192, Sub-Rule 2, that the report of the above-mentioned Portfolio Committee not be debated during the sitting. Honourable Speaker, I so move. Thank you.
I am informed that there is no debate on this motion. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion agreed to. So agreed.